having you. Sunday the 26th of May, bank holiday weekend. Yesterday I had to go and fit turf and everything for my mother. Artificial grass, that stuff. Just want to touch on the video I uploaded last night, is because when I started the video off, I was doing the test for KH and stuff, if you remember right, to see if I needed to buffer it, or they need to buffer it, and I day buffer it. That just clears one thing up. What I'm up to today, I have noticed in the main pond I'm sulking a little bit, as I said in the last video. They seem a little bit pissed off. I know the temperatures are down. I'm at 15 degrees today, which is a massive drop from where I was. I was at 20.9. So what I'm going to do is, in the filter house, I don't know if you can see it, I've just got the microscope out just over here. Here it is there. So I'm going to do them a little bit of a scrape this morning. There's my microscope. People have asked me what I use in the past. This is just a Swift. You can see them on Amazon. I'm about 300 quid. To be fair, the reason I've got a binocular is because me having diabetes and I've got floaters in my eyes, I can't really see properly through a single vision. So I have a binocular just to help me out more than anything. The optics on this, I've found them really good. With it being Swift, obviously Swift and one of the leaders in stuff like telescopes and other stuff, binoculars, stuff like that. So the optics are really good on this. So I've got the option of like I've got 100 on the top, 400. It goes up to about 2,000, I think this does. Normally I'll start on the yellow and I'll come round to the blue, which is 4,000 really, close enough. So yeah, that's my scope. That's what I use. Nothing fancy, nothing singing, dancing, just a binocular. Because, well, my eyes, I'm blind as a bloody bat, if I'm perfectly honest with you. So I'm prepped with the slides. Got the slides out. Got the thanks Costa Coffee for the scrape card. Woo. Covers and so on and so forth. Depending on what I'm going to find today, I have bought that, which is pretty much a cover all bases. I know it's a little bit harsh on the fish, but it's good stuff as well. I've used it in the past, and it is decent stuff. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to get a fish out, probably the shower. Probably get the shower out. Can't move up here because everything's out of this shed. Not everything, and I've still got loads of stuff in, but a lot of stuff's out of this shed. Piled in the bloody filter house and wherever else I can get it. So the net's out. The air's still on. I've got to turn that off. There is a shower in here where I'm looking at getting out. It's just down the bottom here at the minute. It's the one I've noticed which has been sulking most. There you go. It's just flashed. So there's something going on. I know the nitrite's up. The slow trickle's still going in. But I'm going to get it out and I'm going to have a look, because I think it's more than just the nitrite what's affecting them at the minute. They seem happy enough. It's just I'm noticing the flicking. But we'll get them out anyway. We'll have a look and we'll see what's going on. Just to show you as well what I did yesterday afternoon. Took the covers off the sleeper pond. Made a bit of a frame up with a net, so I'm sick of looking at the covers. There's a lot of food on here. Don't look like these I'm eating this morning. So they look like they've had anything to eat this morning. But yeah, they did look fine yesterday. Hopefully they're okay. We'll have a look at them in a bit. But yeah, made the frame up with a net on, so everything should be okay there. Bit concerned about how much food's on the top of that. You know what? I only filled that yesterday, that's why. Bloody empty. Right then, bit of a malfunction with the feeder by the look of it. Alright, we'll get that out in a bit. So yeah, as I said, it's that shower there what's coming out. I'm going to get that one out. See what I can find on that, get a scrape, and we'll go from there. I'd have thought this drum would have took more of these fines out, but it still seems to be struggling with fines a little bit. So right, see if I can set the phone up so as you can see what I'm doing. If not, come back with the results, catch you in a bit. So I've got the fish in the bowl. No dramas. It is female, so it's a little bit calmer than what I would do with a male, which is the only male I've got in here is a Sankey, as you know. First look at it, it does seem stressed. The Shiroji seems okay. I don't know if that's a bit of pinking across the back of the dorsal or whether that's just a little bit of underlying secondary. Can't really see with these bubbles, can you? If you can see what I mean, just there. But I have noticed this one flicking quite a lot, so I'm going to give it a bit of a scrape down the side and get on the belly if I can, and we'll see if we can see what's going on. See if we can knock it on the head. I mean, the filters I'm still building, as you know, and I don't like really treating when the filters I'm building, but if it's got to, it's got to. This fish is around about 40 cm. So I'm going to get her out. I'm going to give her a scrape. How are you going to get her out? I'm going to give her a scrape and see where we go. See if I can set it up to see what I'm doing. But I really got much here other than a fish feeder to lean you up against. So I've got my scrape cord, I've got my slide, got the fish in the bowl. So I'm all good to go. I'll scrape her, slide, get it on the slide, put the cover slip on in the filter house, and then we'll have a look through the scope. That's probably about the best angle I can get you at, to be fair. Same looking across the pond. Right, so with this bowl lies deep in the water, so I have to lift it up slightly. So I'm just cupping the fish in my hands, taking some mucus off down the side, which there are a lot of. It's an awkward bowl, this is. I could do with a new one, to be fair. Right, now it's over. It's over on the back, so now I'll go down the belly. And as you can see, there's a bit more mucus come off the belly. So that's all I'm going to do, is the one side and the belly at the minute. That's it for her, as having no more. So now on the slide, you get the slide, and I'll transfer the mucus just by scraping the card on the side of the slide, and the mucus will gradually, I don't know if you can see that, gradually start coming off. Just take your time with this, you don't want to lose it, because there's also a bit of water on there as well, so we'll get a bit of a mix up and we'll thin that bit of mucus out. And then that's on the slide, we'll go to the scope. So here we are back in here. Now you've got to be careful, because when you do it this way, you're liable of, I've got more on my bloody hands, you're liable of losing the stuff off the scale, off the slide, but I have still got it. I've got a little bit on my hands, but I've still got most of it. Okay, so cover slips, ain't really 100% necessary, and just little bits of glass. And what you do, bring the sample into the middle of your scale, middle of your slide, and just drop a cover slip on it. Me personally, I don't press on that cover slip. So what I'm doing is I'm just creating the cover slip just to settle on its own. You'll see it's still slightly high, if you can see that against my black shirt. So it's still slightly high, but that will settle down over a couple of minutes. Just in there, you'll see the mucus sample. Sorry about this, guys, I'm just trying to get you so as you can see. So what I'll do now, get it on the slide, we'll have a look. I have got a cradle, what I'll set up on the scope. So if I find anything, I'll see if I can set that cradle up, get the phone on the cradle, and then we'll show you what I'm looking at. Hopefully, touch wood, there ain't nothing in there, and it's just an arthritis what's bothering it, but we shall see in a bit. Guys, there's just a couple of things I need to stress while I'm looking through. So it was just going through my head as I'm looking through the slide. A lot of people make the mistake of having the light up too bright. I'm looking with that and glasses on, you can't bloody see, that's better. A lot of people have made the mistake of having the light up too bright on the microscope, because I think that with the bright light you'll see it better, but what you'll find is that it's going to bleach it out, and I'll try and get the phone on here in a bit and show you that. But also, as you're moving across the slide, if you've got like one of these moving beds like I've got on here, where you just turn an handle and it moves the bed. Also, use your fine focus all the time and look through the layers of mucus. I know a lot of people are going to be watching this thinking, oh, what do you think we don't know? A lot of people don't know, so it's probably best that we tell them as well. But yeah, it's like I've done a couple of scrapes for other people on their microscopes, and I've noticed that their light is too bright on the microscope. And as soon as I've turned it down, I've found stuff, and it's like, if you can get it to well, the only way I can describe it is a grayscale through your microscope. If you can get it to a grayscale, you'll see the mucus a lot clearer, and you'll also see what's in the mucus a lot clearer as well, instead of having your light super bright and not being able to see. I'm going to carry on looking through this one now. As like I said, I haven't found nothing yet. I've had 10 minutes on it. If I do find anything, then I'll document it with you, and do my best to get the phone on the cradle. The trouble is with this one, my eyepieces turn, so they don't lock in. So when I put the cradle on, it's like the phone, like it's got a mind of its own. But bear with me. I'll keep looking. If I don't find anything, what I'll do, I'll stick it on the cradle anyway, and I'll try and show you and describe to you as best I can with this bright light. Just keep your light low. If you've got on the bottom of your bed, you should have a little bit of an handle. Just turn the angle, and then it should dull down your light. So I hope you understand what I'm saying. If not, don't worry. Oh no. Ask me again, I'll try and explain it. I'll catch you in a bit. Right then guys, I've got you on the cradle. I don't know how clear this is going to show, but as you can see a line of mucus, you can see some water movement as well. That's the sort of place I'll be looking for Costia to be swimming across. At the minute we're just at 100 times. I have gone through this slide and found absolutely nothing, if I'm perfectly honest with you. But at the minute, that's my brightness on my scope is pretty much full down. With the new LED scopes, you're going to find that the brightness is too much. Now I'll demonstrate to you now what I mean by the brightness being too high. So a lot of people, and I have seen this a lot of times when I've gone to people who are doing scrapes and struggling to find stuff, and that's how they've got their brightness. So if I slowly bring that brightness down now, you can see now that it's just starting to come together. And when I said a grayscale, that's the sort of scale that you need to be looking for. So that gives you a clear picture and a clear sight of everything that you've got. So just focusing up and down in the mucus layers, you can then see what's on there. So if we go across the slide, you can see obviously all the mucus layers. A lot of you have probably seen this before, but it's always an idea just to go small movements and refocus. And just, if you need to, if you've got thick mucus like this, just sit there for a second, because there could be something like Chilodonella in there, and Chilodonella are easily spotted. So again, we'll move on. So just move like a screen or an eyesight at a time. This is slightly zoomed in actually on my phone, so it's the best I can do for you, I'm afraid, at the minute. Again, just go up and down through the mucus, because sometimes you'll see something sitting right down in the bottom of the mucus on the slide end, so there's no harm in just fine tuning as you go along. Not all microscopes have got a fine tune on, so if you can sort of average your main focus to midway in the mucus, then you've got a better chance then. These are the sort of areas again where you'll have water in the middle, where this is the type of place where you could be looking for Costia. Costia are little sort of spoon-shaped flagellants, which if you're a fisherman, they actually go through the water sometimes as like a spinner or a plug, if you know what I mean. Again, we can move across. But if again, even though we're in the thick mucus now, if I turn up this brightness, and this brightness is too high, there you go, it just disappears. The mucus just disappears. and that I'm not touching the phone there, I'm actually just touching a lever on the underneath of my moving bed on the scope. So there you go, just a view sort of through my scope. This phone's just looking through the one eyepiece at the minute. And I think my eyepiece or my phone needs cleaning, because you can see some bits where I'm stuck on it. It must be my phone, because I couldn't see that through the eyepiece earlier. But again, just take your time. There's no rush with the slide, no rush at all. You've got all day. Once you've scraped that fish, put the fish back to the pond, you've got all day to look through this slide then. So take your time, no rush whatsoever. As you can see, there's different layers, so we're in focus there. As we move across here, we're out of focus. So just a bit of a fine tune brings it back in focus, and you can see exactly what's going on, in case there's anything in that piece of mucus as well. So this is the only scrape I've took is off that shower so far. What I am going to do another scrape now on a different fish, on the goshke. We're just on the edge of the slide now, as you can see. You see that line straight through the screen, that's the edge of the slide. So we're now on the outside of the slide, which again is as important as the inside. So it's always best just to look slightly on the outside of the slide, because we've still got mucus, we've still got water. There's still water on the slide, there's still a chance of parasites being in that water there. So like I said, there's no rush with the slide. I've probably looked at this now for the past half an hour, 3/4 of an hour, just taking my time looking through it and just scanning the slide, and I haven't seen anything on this one, but it doesn't mean to say there's nothing on the fish. So I'm going to take another scrape now off the goshke, and then that'll be it. 2 fish will be okay, 2 fish will be enough, and we should be okay at that. Once, if I don't find anything on the goshke, I'm going to be quite happy it's just down to the nitride then. What's upsetting them a little bit and making them flick. There's no marks on the fish, I've got no marks, so everything is okay there. But yeah, absolutely nothing, unless anybody's seeing anything on this slide. I'm seeing nothing. This is at 150 times at the minute as well. Sometimes you'll see a little shadow which may indicate a fluke. Just zoom in and out. That don't really look much like a fluke to me, to be fair. At this temperature, even though I'm still only at 15 degrees, I would expect to see the flukes active. So here we come to the other end of the slide. There's the straight edge of the slide. As you can see, there's a lot of mucus on the outside. This mucus will normally be sort of piled up on the outside, so it's always a good idea. Oh, hang on, have we got something moving there? No, it's just me. It's just me wobbling stuff. I thought I had something moving then. Always a good idea just to sit there, have a look, focus up and through the mucus, see if there's anything moving. Absolutely nothing. So there you go, that's just a quick look through my scope, just look at what I'm looking at. Hope you've found that interesting. If there's any questions, let me know and I'll try and help you. I know sometimes I don't always explain stuff fully, but hopefully that's been a bit of interest to you. And I'm going to have a look at another one now. Catch you later. So that's the shower slide off the scope now. We've eliminated that one as being anything on there. This is now the goshke slide, as you can see. That's a scrape off either side. I haven't done the belly on the goshke, I've just gone either side, and there's quite a lot of mucus on that. So I'm going to have a look at this one now, and we'll see how it goes. Just while I'm on the app, this is the little handle on the bottom of the scope, as you can see, which I was turning the volume up and down. Not the volume, the brightness. As you can see, as I move that, the brightness goes up and down. So if you've got one of them on your scope, have a look. Turn your brightness down, you might find that it's a whole lot better. So I'll crack on now, and we'll have a look at this one. Catch you in a bit. You little bugger. Off the Goshki. So I've only just started looking at the scrape, and that's the first one I found, so I ain't panicking yet. It's a skin fluke. Don't look like it's got any dots in anyway, it's just a skin fluke. So I'll carry on looking, but that's the first one. Am I going to treat for one fluke? I very much doubt it. Catch you later. So I've just finished scraping the main pond, or the fish out of the main pond. I've done a couple of fish. I found 2 flukes. It don't justify it, me treating for 2 flukes, if I'm honest. So I'll keep an eye on them over the next few days. I think it's probably down to the nitrite, even though I should have tested that as well, and I never did. I'm up and about again. There's still a lot of stuff floating about in that pond. You know, like it's on eating food either, because I'm hardly on any. But there's still fish flashing. Down to the nitrite, it's got to be. It's got to be down to the nitrite. Water's looking a bit murky because I've disturbed the jet matting. That shouldn't take long to clear up. What that is just a mixture of clay and detox, what's come out of the jet matting, to be honest. So they might be a little bit irritated by that as well. As you can see, there's a couple of them flashing about. But there's no marks, there's no damage, there's no injuries. 2 flukes, they'll justify treating. I might give them another scrape middle of the week and see how we get on. But other than that, everything seems to be okay, he says. Looks like a bloody slug. I've just took all the food off this, just netted, well, most of it too. There's still little bits floating about which they'll eat, I suppose, as you can see just down there. That's all the food I've took off. Let the slugs out there. This is green because of the Alperex, so I get it another treatment today. I might do, but not yet. The fish are knocking about, as you can see just down there. They're a little bit spooked, so I've just had the cover up. I'm sitting at 20.9 at the moment, so it has gone down slightly. The heater's probably turned off all night. I'm contemplating now whether to just lay the covers over the top, which seems to be defeating the object of making this cover. But we'll see how we get on. In the road. I'll snap back to you when I've got more to tell you. In the meantime, I'll catch you later in a bit, Aid. Habinya, it's me again. Hey, how you doing? It's Sunday evening, bank holiday Sunday. Don't know what the date is. Hang on, I'll tell you. Hold up. I think I told you earlier. It's 26th of May anyway. Been messing about today. And as I said in one of the previous videos, I've acquired an air source heat pump, not brand new, second hand. Thanks to Mad Dog for that, for the air source. I've just rigged it up. I'll show you that in a minute. But the reason for me pressing record on this video at the minute is I just wanted to show you something which I've acquired or bought off Amazon. I wanted something to tell me the temperature of the pond on a day-to-day basis while I'm at work. Now I know we can all use like sort of temperatures where we've got to come and have a look, and one thing another, but I wanted something where I could look at it on my phone and it to show me the temperature, and I'll show you what I bought. So here we have. Oh, hang on. Let's get it right, shall we? Just, I'm trying to be a monk here. There you go. There we have a Wi-Fi mobile app, external probe, everything. Temperature gauge tells me the temperature on the top. Now I hadn't done a review on this. I've had it probably 10 days now, and the reason I didn't do a review is because the temperature, which is saying 16.3, and it also matches up with my little temperature thing there. Now the reason I didn't do a review before this is because that temperature was telling me 20.4, so it was 4.1 degrees higher than what it should have been. Me being a bloke, as you know, us blokes, we don't go into the instructions unless we've really got to. The only reason I notified to the instructions was to set the Wi-Fi up from the start. And I thought, you know what, let's have a look at this. So I went into the app actually on my phone. Went into the app, and in the app there's actually a calibration for the temperature. And the calibration, you can bring it down -4, -5, -6, whatever. So I brought it down -4.1 to match exactly that one. Now that little digital one, the aquarium one, it shows pretty much the same as everything else. So I'm judging that that's pretty much bang on right. This thermometer now is showing right. To be fair, the 60% underneath, which is the humidity, I couldn't give a toss about that, if I'm perfectly honest. The only thing I can't figure out now is if you look at the time, it says 20:41, where it's actually 19:41 at the moment. It's 20 to 8. The sun at the top shows you the daylight percentage, so if I sort of face that up to the light and bring you up with it, you'll see now it's gone up 47%, 46%. So it's just showing you the daylight. Again, couldn't give a toss about that, in all fairness. So my overall review on this is brilliant. It shows you in degrees Celsius, which is what I'm used to. If you spin it around, you've got a black button on the back. Just two little buttons. You've got a little switch and a black button. So if I touch the black button, if I can find it, you'll see now that goes to 61 degrees Fahrenheit. So if you're working old money, which I know a couple of my mates does, i.e. Tony Barker, when I ask him his temperature, he just blows my mind. So 61.4 is the temperature in this tank at the moment, in this pond rather, in the main pond. That's the only thing it really changes. So if we press it again, it goes back to degrees Celsius, and that's that little round button on the back. You've also got a switch, and what that switch does, it sends it into either power mode, which you can run off a USB, or it can run off battery. So at the minute it's running off battery because I've unplugged the USB lead. The USB lead is here. So basically I've charged it up. I've had it on charge, and it's working fine off the battery. It's on the Wi-Fi, as you can see in the top right hand corner, just a little Wi-Fi sign. The Wi-Fi is really weak up here, but it does refresh every 60 seconds on that temperature, which is what I've set it to. So it refreshes every 60 seconds and just gives me an update. So if the temperature changes over 60 seconds, which is very, very unlikely to, then that's where it'll be. So yeah, as I said, it comes in a nice little box, as you'd expect. I think the price was around about 27 quid, if I remember. So the name of it, Apex CE Specialist IC Slim, I don't know. But there you go. There's a phone number on there if you need any more information. It's obviously it's Chinese. QR codes and so on and so forth. But yeah, it comes with the USB charging lead, and I think that's about it, to be quite honest. Let me just put you there. I'll open the box, show you the instructions and everything else. Okay, this is what it comes with. So it comes with an handy bracket, which I'll put a little arrow on there. It does show you on the back. But when you put that against the wall or a piece of wood, who's to say which is the right way then? So I'll put that arrow on there. So obviously you could screw that onto there. That unit will go on there. Sits in with two little clips on the back. Jobs are good at. Some writing, some descriptions, and some other whatever else tells you about it. I think they're called instructions. Being a bloke, we don't use them. Plug, screw. That's for fixing your bracket, which I was going to get round to doing. No, again, because that was reading 4 degrees too high, I was thinking, nah, I ain't going to bother. So now I've sorted it, it's okay. Comes in an anti-static bag as well. So that's pretty much what you get in the box. Everything else is out of the box. Just a quick review, just to show you what I've bought. If you're looking for a Wi-Fi thermometer, I reckon I'll go for one of them. Everything else, they're a lot dearer. This is probably one of the cheapest I could find, and like I said, it seems to be doing the trick okay. Although this one is now reading 16.4. That one's still on 16.3, but I'll give it a chance. There still might be a setting I've got to get to, but so far so good. I'm quite happy with it. It is going to get fixed up on the wall. It's just taking the temperature reading, same as this one, from the inside of the drum, or the inlet of the drum I should say, and so far so good, as I've said. Now I'll show you the reason why I've reviewed that today, because I've been playing a bit of budget and Scarpa. Now we've had some right thunderstorms today. As you can see, there's a bowl with a couple of bricks on protecting the electric. Got the air source heat pump up and running. That's saying 16.6 at the minute. So who's to believe what? All I know is the little thermometer. The little thermometer what I had, or what I've got in the koi house, in the engine room. I put that on the outlet to that, and it went up to about 19 degrees. I've got that set to 22, so we'll see what happens overnight. As I say, I've only budgeted it there for now, just to see if everything's okay, make sure it's all working. I am saying I'm going to run it on the main pond, which I might do, I don't know yet, see how it goes. The only thing is going to be, yeah, it might be okay in this weather, but come the winter, it's only a 3.9 kilowatt. That's 2,500 gallon pond. It might not do it. It might not. The only thing, if anything, with these Aeroboss pumps, and I know there's a lot of them about, the only thing I don't like is the inlet and the outlet is on the same side as the blowout of the fan. If it was on the other side, the inlet and outlet, it'd be a lot better. But we shall see how it goes. Mad Dog had good results with it. I'm hoping it's going to do the same for me. All I've done, I've put a 4,000 gallon pump on with a green pipe coming in. That's around about 2 foot under the water. That black pipe is a lot longer and going almost to the bottom of the pond, just to keep it away from the pump and see if we can get a decent reading of it. Mad Dog seems to think that if I set this to 22 tonight, it'll be there in the morning, so we shall see. Okay, it's a bit of an eat ramp for the fish, but we'll see how they get on. Goshki's looking alright. Had it out today and scraped it, as you know. And here come the others. Look, I think they're getting some food now. That shower is a dickhead. Jumping earlier on, dickhead. And yet I couldn't find a thing on that shower. But there you go. These are okay as well. These, like I said, I don't know if I documented it, that had totally emptied out today. But these, they've had no food since. I've been up looking for food, but they had none. Here's the Mrs. Soragoi there, and a Parachina. But they am looking better. The salt's still up. Salt's still at 0.5. It's actually 0.5, 0.1, which I checked today, so they're okay. That's one of the shitheads what went all clamped up and silly on me. Here's a Shisui. Calpy likes that fish. Come and have a look at it anytime you want, mate. So yeah, that's what I'm doing. I'm just messing about. I'm just budgeting scarpering with it. I have got the right fittings for it at the minute. I have got the right pipe work for it. So that green pipe's bodged into that inside. That one just pushed in. You can just see 4,000 pumps is now the Jabao pump 4,000, and then we've got this one coming out here, and that black pipe goes down the bottom of the pond down there. So we'll see how it goes. I don't know if I'm noticing any difference in the temperature at the moment, but it shouldn't really be showing that much difference. So there you go. Electrics are under there. So that'll sit there for tonight, and we'll see how it goes. Just see how it changes the temperature. That's all. Mad Dog seems to think that we'll be up to 22 tomorrow. So we're on 16.4, that's still showing 16.3, so I'm going to have a look at the settings. But yeah, great little unit, to be fair. I've still got to figure out how to change that time, but that's obviously user error. But there you go, more little review on this temperature and humidity sensor. Don't even know who makes it, to be honest. Who makes that? Wuxing Zing. Waterfront Studios, Dock Road, London. I ain't got a clue. That's as close as I can tell you. There you go. Enough of me. I'll catch you later. In a bit, Aid. Have you? It's Monday, Bank Holiday Monday. That's right. Hang on, I'll tell you. You know what I'm like. 27th of May, 2024. I've got Tony Barker with me today. He's just popped up. He's bought me ground shellfish from the Mid Staffs Club. Just basically acclimatised them a little bit. Chewed the fat over the air source heat pump, which I've got running too quick. And I've got them in the valve. I've just done a measure on them. That one was 26 when Tony got them 3 weeks ago. That was 24. So I've put a couple of CM on already, that one. And that one is 27.5. Both showers. Who's the breeder? So Hoshikin. Yeah. Both Hoshikin showers. So these are through the Mid Staffs growing show. These have come out of Tony's pond at 23 degrees and going into mine at 22. And going in the sleepy pond, obviously. They are going in the main pond. So there you go. 2024 show and grow from the Mid Staffs Club. Hoshikin shower. Let's see how they get on. See if I can keep them alive, eh? So it's still Bank Holiday Monday. I've still got Tony here. We're just again chewing the fat. I'll put the fish in the pond now. They're fine. Just doing another water test. Nitrite's coming down. Let me just show you this. There you go. Look, you can see the nitrite's coming down on that. You can see that. So happy days. It's just for Mandy, that is. So there you go, man. Look at that. Nothing wrong with that, is there? That's coming down lovely, that. So it's hopefully we're on top of it. I will show you the jack matting what I took out at the end of the buyout chamber as well, because I was talking about it and Tony got the same setup. He had a piece of jack matting in the end of his buyout chamber. And we was talking about it and he said, take the jack matting out. It's rank. It's absolutely rank. Now that was in the end of there. You can see all the crap and everything was come out of it. It was in the end of here. Now amazingly, since I've took that out, this has rose no end. So I've got a feeling that might be stopping out, and I've got a feeling that might be adding to the nitrite issue. It was just sitting at the end of the buyout. Now we've got to remember that comes through the drum first, then through the buyout. It's foiled, so that's getting washed out. So it's one of them. Did it contribute to it? I don't know. It's only been out 20 minutes. Well, half an hour. I took that out, and as you can see, look at that. Who knows? Also, heat pump's running better as well now. So we'll see how it goes. But I've just got to thank Mandy anyway for the advice on the water test kits. Because what I'm supposed to be doing is this. I'm supposed to be looking down. Look. And hopefully that'll put her to rest, because from what I can gather, has been calling me all sorts. He has told me. Catch you later. Haven't you? It's Tuesday. I'm looking at you. I shouldn't be looking over there. I should be looking at the ocean time. Tuesday the 28th of May. As you know, I've already scraped the fish in the main pond. I've had the heat pump running, which I've took off now. It got it up to 19 degrees. It seems to struggle to get it up anymore. Mad Dog seemed to think that he would do it, but I've left it. It's 18 degrees now anyway. I'm hungry, I'm active, but I'm also sulking at the same time, if that makes sense. So I've been watching them on the camera today. As you can see, there's a white, where is it? Just about there. There's a white camera looking at the pond. I've got another one up here as well. So I've got two cameras looking at the pond, and I'm flicking like mad. So I'm sick of seeing it myself. The chag has lost 2 scales, which has proper pissed me off. Pardon my French. So what I've done, I've come back tonight, straight up the garden, and I've put a treatment in. Now I know my filters I'm only just building, and probably people are screaming at me, but it's got to be done. Ooh, where's he gone? Oh, he's here. So yeah, what I've used, I don't know if I'd already documented that I've got this. I actually ordered it for a just in case scenario. I've seen it used quite a lot. I used it many years ago, when it very first come out. Now this stuff, when I first used it, basically seemed very harsh on the fish, but did the job. So I've put a dose of that in, 240 grams for my pond, so it's 20 grams for every 1,000 litres. I've got just under 12,000 litres. So there you go. We'll see how it goes. I'm going to give it a full dose today. I'll give it a full dose tomorrow, and I'll give it half a dose on day 3, and we'll see how we get on. It depends on whether it turns the fish really pink. If the fish seems to be stressing out with it, I won't dose it too heavy. I'll probably leave it a day and then dose again. But yeah, we're on, well, just under 18 according to that one. It's that's bang on 18 with the other one. So there you go. 28th of May, and I've dosed with that today. First dose of really anything to run through the filters. If you remember, I did a PP, but I shut the filters off. Nothing's run through the filters since. So this is the only thing, first dose of the pond. And I think it needs it, if I'm perfectly honest with you. It needs something. I know I only found 2 flukes, and I was stressed over that. But there's obviously more going on than what I've found. The shit bag out of them is that shower. Watching that shower flicking like mad and jumping. And it's just, it's an arsehole, that fish is. So that was one where I scraped as well the weekend and never found anything on it. But there you go. I found the 2 flukes on the Goshko. These are sound. These are sound in here. Now it's still a bit spooky. You know, you walk up to the tank and I'm still a bit sort of, let's get out the road and get down. But they'll settle. I'm still under salt. As you can see, the Oprex is still present in the water, even though it has sort of faded off a little bit. And I'm all doing really well. Just need to start getting some size on them. Thankfully everything seems to be over the sleeping sickness. That shower down there, which is like the Kindai type of shower, I had it from Rodbastard. That was one of the worst for showing signs of the sleeping sickness. But the Cuttlebrook fish have settled in well. The show and grows have settled in well. What I put in yesterday actually. And everything else seems to be okay. Dig the crocs. So as you can see now, that's gone murky now. So that's that treatment's obviously just starting to come through. Went straight into the bio chamber, let the bio chamber dissolve it up, and starting to go. So there you go. I've got my missus ringing me now. She's rung me twice while I've been on the video to you, so I better answer her. I better ring her back. Like I said, I'll keep you updated with this treatment and see how everything goes. It just seems to be a thing at this time of year. Everybody's having it out. It's either flukes or trichidina or one thing or another. It's just a summer thing, guys. It's one of the things you've got to accept with this bloody hobby. I've always said we should have had pigeons. Should have had pigeons. You could just ring their neck and eat them. Even eat the eggs if you've got to. I wouldn't fancy eating their eggs. Catch you in a bit. Having ya. Wednesday, the 29th of May. Put that on, out the way. I'm just up here doing a quick, well, I'm doing the second dose of PP treatment. 250 gram in there. I have put a little bit in, to be fair, but I just thought I'd show you how I do it. Now I don't dissolve it and mess about with it in a bucket. Just go straight in the filters for me. So I'll spin you around, show you what I do. Now I ain't saying you've got to do it this way, but this is the way I do it, just for ease. Just a nice, slow trickle, just sprinkling it in over the air. Now this is on the inlet side of the bio, so it's got to travel all the way through the bio. So by the time it's got to the other end, it's going to be dissolved. So I'll just sit there and I'll just, well, stand here, not sit here. If I was sitting down it'd be a lot more comfortable, but I'm standing. And I'll just trickle it in. I've seen folks just dump it in the past, but I think if you need to trickle, it does. It just handles it a little bit better. It breaks it up and shifts it out of the way better. so it'll dissolve in here. I'm currently at 17.8 degrees. My pump's on 35%. It's an 18,000, don't forget, and at 35%, well, at 50% of an 18,000 is 9, so at 25% is 4,500. This is litres. So I'm at 35%, so I'm probably pushing around about 5,000 litres through it. Is that right? 9, 4,500. Nah, probably about 6,500 litres I'm pushing through my pump. I've got 12,000 litres, so that's around every 2 hours. If I feel the need to, I can always turn it up. So like I said, it's running 35%. I've got loads to go, so I can have a play in if I need to. If I think the fish need it, then I can always just turn it up slightly. As you can see, I'm still trickling this in now. There ain't a lot left. I'm trying to teach her how to suck eggs, but some people might be interested as to how I stick the treatment in. And this is exactly how I stick the treatment in, straight into the bio. Nice and steady. Now there's 250 gram going in there. I know the measurement from our pond was 240. But a little bit extra ain't gonna hurt them. So we've got that left, we've got just got that dust in there, so I'll just wash it out. And that's it. That's the second dose. Day 2. Second dose. Now tomorrow I'll do half a dose. So I'll do 125 gram. That's on the recommendation from Ricky at Koi Wholesale. Now I always did day 1, day 3 and day 5. The last I heard Ricky say was go day 1, day 2 full doses and day 3 half a dose. So we'll give it a go. But there you go, just thought I'd show you. The fishing looking fine. The tails are in the sleeper tank and ravenous. I put the 450 up for sale today on Marketplace, along with an easy pod. So that's up for sale. No pipe work and no pump, so I need the pump. But for the price I put it up, it ain't a bad deal even. These are okay. What's doing me head in now is all this crap flying around in the pond. It's doing me fruiting. You know what I mean? You spend the money on a drum and a bio and everything else. I was having a talk to Tony Barker about it the other day, and I'm wondering if it's down to these, you know, these grids we've been putting in. I put one in. I had the grid plastic printed, and it's in there at the minute. But what you've got to remember is there's no pull as such on the drain now, because the grid takes that pull away. And I'm thinking that that might be having an effect of all this crap floating about in the pond. I'm starting to get twitchy now again, look, because I've put another batch of stuff in. I've probably been watching them on the cameras a little bit today, and they ain't been too bad. Just keeping an eye on them. They ain't been too bad at all. I ain't seen no jumping, put it that way. The shower's a bloody ball out for jumping. Oh, somebody's shooting a gun. So yeah. That took my attention a little bit then, somebody shooting a pellet gun. Don't know who it is. I know the neighbour's got one and I've got 3, but I just heard somebody shoot one anyway. But there you go, enough of that. I mean, I look, I'm all facing me now after food. So I ain't fed them yet. I'll give them an hour. I'll let this stuff circulate through, give them an hour, and then I'll feed them. As I said, these are fine. These have had a bit of a feed. I've put some batteries in the feeder. Set the feeder back up. I've had a couple of springs on that, so they're okay for a bit. I'm on Saki Ikori growth, plus mealworms. I've absolutely lamped them in the last couple of days, which is high protein. I'm looking at them, water's still shit, but I'm looking fine. My gaffer's just bought me a cup of tea. No, I think it's because I've got the camera on, has walked off. Catch you in a bit.